Picture a man walking through the crowded streets of ancient Rome. The air smells of dust and olive oil. Street vendors shout for attention. A vendor cheats him on the price of grain. A passerby shoves his shoulder without apology. A neighbor insults him in front of others. For a moment, anger flares, that sharp burn of injustice we all know too well. His jaw tightens, breath shortens, and the world narrows to the slight he just received. But then he remembers the words of Marcus Aurelius. When someone does you wrong, consider that he acts according to his own understanding. Meditations, Book 11. He exhales. The anger fades like smoke carried off by the wind. This is not weakness. It's mastery. In a world full of difficult people, Stoicism teaches that peace doesn't depend on how others act, but on how we choose to respond. So today, let's explore how to deal with bad people, the Stoic way. First, see the offender as a teacher. Seneca once wrote, "Anger, if not restrained, is more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it." On anger. Imagine you're driving to work, already running late. Someone cuts you off, forcing you to brake hard. Your pulse spikes. You want to shout, to teach them a lesson. But pause for a moment. That reckless driver has just handed you a free lesson in patience. To a Stoic, every rude or unjust person is a mirror reflecting the parts of us that still need work. They reveal how fragile our calm really is. If a stranger's words or actions can throw you into turmoil, then your peace was never truly yours. So the Stoic sees each offense as a test, a small chance to practice self-control. Like a soldier training with a heavier shield, each trial builds strength. The next time someone provokes you, don't say, "Why are they like this?" Instead, think, "Here is my teacher, arriving uninvited." That mindset turns irritation into discipline, and discipline into peace. And from that quiet acceptance, we move to the next principle. Our second practice. Understand the source of their behavior. Epictetus reminds us, what upsets people is not things themselves, but their judgments about things. Enchiridion 5. Now picture a co-worker who constantly criticizes your ideas in meetings. You prepare carefully, yet each time they interrupt, dismiss, or talk over you, you feel that tightness in your chest, pride wounded, irritation rising. But Stoicism asks us to look deeper. People act badly, not because they are born cruel, but because their judgments are mistaken. Maybe that coworker feels threatened by your competence. Maybe they learned that the loudest voice wins attention. Maybe they're simply repeating patterns they saw growing up. Their behavior reflects their internal confusion, not your value. Understanding this doesn't excuse them. It frees you. Because once you see their behavior as ignorance rather than malice, your anger loses its footing. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Whenever you are offended, remind yourself that it is your judgment making you suffer." Meditations, Book 8. The Stoic learns to translate offense into understanding. And when you stop taking things personally, others lose the power to disturb your peace. With that insight, we move from understanding to self-discipline. Third, guard your mind like a fortress. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Meditations, Book 8. The modern world is full of noise. Every scroll through your phone brings a new reason to react. Political outrage, gossip, criticism, envy. It's easy to get swept up, to let other people's emotions dictate your own. But a Stoic guards his mind like a fortress. He chooses what to let in and what to keep out, not by isolation, but by awareness. Imagine reading a cruel comment online. Someone mocks your work, questions your character. You feel that flash of heat behind your eyes, the urge to defend yourself, but instead, you take one slow breath. You think, "This is outside my control. My peace is not for sale." That pause, that single heartbeat between impulse and action, is freedom. It's not about being passive. It's about staying rooted when the world shakes. When you guard your mind, you don't become cold. You become steady. You can engage with others without being pulled into their storms. And from that inner stillness, your response gains clarity, purpose, and dignity. Now that we've built this inner wall, Let's talk about what to do when people try to climb it. The fourth way. Respond with reason, not revenge. Musonius Rufus said, "It is not possible to be insulted by someone unless you consent to be insulted." Lectures 10. In daily life, there are people who seem to thrive on conflict. The loud neighbor, the manipulative ex, the online troll. They throw insults like hooks, hoping you'll bite. And if you do, they've already won. Stoicism teaches that dignity is the most powerful response. If someone mocks you, answer calmly or not at all. If they lie, live in such a way that their words collapse under the weight of your integrity. You don't need to fight for reputation. Truth defends itself over time. Revenge, to a Stoic, is wasted energy. Seneca wrote, "He who seeks revenge should dig 2 graves." On Anger, Book 3. When you match someone's cruelty, you become what you despise. But when you rise above it, you quietly expose their weakness. Calmness confuses the aggressor. Silence unsettles the petty. So the Stoic learns to respond with reason. Measured, deliberate, and sometimes with no words at all. Not because he's afraid, but because he knows anger is a luxury he can't afford. And that strength leads to the final practice, one that turns even conflict into growth. Finally, use every encounter to strengthen your character. Marcus Aurelius advised, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Meditations, Book 6. Every encounter, good or bad, is raw material for self-improvement. The impatient clerk, the dishonest client, the arrogant friend, each one gives you a chance to practice virtue. Think of life as a forge. The Stoic steps into the heat willingly, knowing each challenge shapes him. Every insult tests his humility. Every betrayal tests his forgiveness. Every annoyance tests his patience. You don't have to like bad people, but you can thank them for sharpening your soul. They are the grindstone that keeps your character from rusting. So the next time someone treats you unfairly, instead of thinking, "Why me?" think, "Here is my chance to grow stronger." That shift in perspective turns suffering into strength. It makes even injustice meaningful. And slowly, day by day, you become the kind of person who can't be shaken by cruelty, only refined by it. So, return now to that Roman man in the crowded street. The shove, the insult, the cheat, they still happen. But his face is calm, his eyes steady. He walks on, unshaken, because he understands the truth. No one can make him angry without his permission. That is the Stoic way of dealing with bad people, not by fighting, but by mastering yourself. Because peace isn't given to you. It's built, one choice at a time. Here's your challenge. This week, when someone tests your patience, pause before reacting. Ask yourself, what would a Stoic do right now? Then choose calm over chaos. Which Stoic way would you try first? Share it in the comments. I might read yours next time.